Yo, what's going on, guys? I don't know if anyone is in here yet. What's up? What's up? How did everyone do yesterday? Were we green? Were we red? I just gotta tweet out the link for this, and then I'm gonna get started. Give me 1 second. Alright, let me post this to my Twitter real quick. I'll check chat in a second. Gotta post in my Discord now. Alright, let me check chat. Yo, what's up, DC? What's up? Yes, 15-minute relative equal highs in NQ. I am watching that. So what's up, Hemant? My bias, I'm gonna go over my bias today first, okay? And I'm gonna wait till some more people get in here so I can show you so I can show people how I go over my bias. So yeah, basically, what's up, Scarlet Kitty? Yeah, I know. So first, I'm gonna go. Yes, this breaker, in my opinion, is bullish. Okay. Kind of expecting something like this. Okay, but would I take it? Probably not, because we already took buy side here. Okay. And we also took sell side as well, and I'd say there's more probability that we're going to go up here because you look at the 15-minute, if you look at the 15-minute, we are in this fair value gap right here, and we do have another order block up here. So I am watching for a short somewhere around here, but I'm not gonna take one if I don't see one. And the reason why is because we already swept liquidity here. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna go over my bias and stuff in a second. Okay, this is kind of iffy to trade here. It's only 9:06 and we got data, so I don't really care what happens. I'm just kind of watching at the moment. But first, if I go on my Forex Factory, okay, this is what you got to do every single morning. Okay, before I'm gonna show you guys the steps I go through to check my bias, like see what's going on for the day. Okay, and the first thing I always do is you got to go to myforexfactory.com. And you got to see if there's any news. All right, so this is Friday 24th. It should be already on the date. Okay, and you can see 8:30 a.m. we had all these medium impact, but then look, 9:45 a.m. we have 2 high impact news, red folder news. Okay, and you don't need to be an expert in macro to know what this is. Like, I'm not. This is PMI, so this is something that is common, so I do know what that is. But like, some days you'll see high impact news that you might not know what it is, but it doesn't matter as long as you see that it's high impact news. Like, this is for if you're a day trader or scalper or whatever. As long as you see it's high impact news or maybe medium impact, just beware. Okay, it's important to be aware of this. So knowing that I have news at 9:30 or 9:45, am I going to take a trade probably before then? Probably not. Okay, and I have taken a few scalps so far. But other than that, I'm not planning on taking a trade. I am watching this breaker though here. It's actually this whole zone right here. Okay, which is kind of big. But I just have it drawn right here because it's the high. But would I take this breaker? Absolutely not, because we already hit this high. Okay. So now after I check my Forex Factory, also if I go to NQ real quick, you can see all the scalps I'm in on NQ. 1 second. Anyways, if we go to, so for my bias, what I do is, again, I check my Forex Factory, I kind of see what's going on. Okay, and then if we go to the first thing I do is I usually go to the daily. Okay, so I'll explain kind of what I do for my top-down analysis here. So you can see we rejected a daily balanced price range on the daily chart. Okay, which why is this balanced price range? Is because we wicked into it the first time, which rebalanced us, and even this rebalanced it even more. Okay, so this is a balanced price range because we wick up into it and we reject. At the same time, okay, if you know what a swing high and swing low is, right? You get a swing high here, you get a high, higher high, lower high. Okay, so there's your swing high, which is a place where retail traders are going to have their stops. So you can see at the same time of us rejecting this fair value gap, we also took out buy-side liquidity. Okay, so this is a daily time frame, and if this was a 1 minute time frame, I would have shorted here and I would have sold down here. Okay, so what I'm getting at is this is kind of my bias for now. Okay, again, if this was a 1 minute, I would have sold up here after you hit buy side. I would have shorted, and my target would be down here. So I always pretend like if the daily time frame is a 1 minute time frame, what would I do in the 1 minute? Okay, it's good. It's a good tip, in my opinion, because a lot of these 1 minute traders, they don't take in the higher time frame into account. Okay, so like you got to just beware. Just pretend like this is a wait a minute, why don't you take that breaker? Because we already hit the highs. I'll explain that in a second, though. Anyways, so if this was like a 1 minute time frame, you just got to pretend like it is. What would you do if this was 1 minute time frame? What I would do is I would short, and my target would be down here. Obviously, I would have taken some profits already, but this would be my ultimate target. And this is kind of my bias for the next few weeks. Okay, but I know for a fact we're not going to knife straight down. That just doesn't happen. So because I am a day trader and scalper, I will look at the intraday bias. So basically for the higher time frame bias, when I'm looking at the daily, am I swing trading $1 million positions off the daily? No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm not swing trading millions of dollars of positions, but I will use it for like a side bias. But for day traders and scalpers, I think it's worth it to, just like how a swing trader would look at the daily, I think it's worth it for like a scalper to look at like the hourly, because on the hourly, okay, what are you going to see? You're going to see fair value gaps that are going to be like smaller. They're going to be fair value gaps that we're more likely to hit and then reject, and just it makes more sense to look at the hourly fair value gaps, because that's going to give us our daily bias if we are trading in a 5 minute time frame. Okay, so that's how I like to equate it. So again, daily is good if you're like swinging these large positions. Maybe you swing options. However, it's not good for day traders, in my opinion, because as a day trader, okay, or a scalper, you're not really holding your position too long. Okay, but it's still very important, because you do want to know the overall direction of the market. So like in this, right? Unicorn pattern 5 minute. Yeah, I already kind of marked it out. This is a breaker block here, and it's also a fair value gap. So I am expecting a bounce here, but I'm not going to long it just because there's news at 9:45, so I just want to sit and watch. Anyways, so yeah, what I was saying is, again, I use 1 hour if I'm day trading. Other than that, I don't really use much. So again, 1 hour if you're day trading. So if I go to like the 1 hour right now, my analysis is going to be this. I see we have a fair value gap here. I see we have a fair value gap up here, okay? And do I know which one we're going to go hit and reject? No, I do not. Will I be watching the lower time frame for structure to tell me? Yes, I will, okay? So right here, what I would say is, because we hit sell side here, if this was a 1 minute time frame, okay, would you take this short if this was a 1 minute time frame? Probably not. But let's say we did get a short setup out of it, I would not be opposed. Okay, but if you zoom out a little bit, look at this. Okay, what's the low of this candle? This low is 3937.25. This low is 3937. Okay, so these are basically equal lows here. So I'm expecting us to run down and hit these at some point today. That's my first target for now. Okay, so my bias is bearish. I'm not sure where we will reject up here, but I will be definitely looking for like anything to kind of any short setup. Okay, that's textbook, right? And I'm not gonna obviously short after we hit sell side. That's really dumb. But now we got equal lows, so if we did get a retracement, it would probably be good to short. And I also do like these relatively equal lows down here as well. So again, what I'm basically doing is I'm marking out where I see obvious liquidity. Okay, I already know we hit buy side, so am I really interested in us going back up to hit these highs? Probably not. Again, if this is a 1 minute time frame, I wouldn't really care about any of these highs up here. Because we broke order flow, which basically means we broke below this order block, which means we broke order flow. So order flow is now bearish. We also broke structure on multiple lower time frames, and we got equal lows here. We got relative equal lows down here, and I do think this is a possibility, but this is obviously my first couple targets. Okay, so that's my bias for today. But you can see how I kind of use the daily, 1 hour, 4 hour. And I treat it just like I would in the 1 minute. If this was the 1 minute, would I be bearish? Yes, I would, because we broke structure, we rejected from a fair value gap. It's a fact that this is bearish. Okay, it's not an opinion that this is bearish. But where the opinions come in is where you get your entries, okay? Some entries might be different than others. Yeah. I had taken like a few scalps on NQ, ES, whatever, mostly demo because the news, okay? So I'm not going to trade demo or real money with news coming out at 9:45. It's just a stupid idea in my opinion. And I'll show you my prediction in a second in my Discord, which I posted. And by the way, if you guys are in my Discord and you have any questions, I will be checking Discord as well. So if you do want to tag me, just go to trading chat, okay? See what's happening to this unicorn setup? It's totally getting broken through at the moment, okay? This is why I would not have taken this. It's not broken through yet, really, but again, if you see us, we're rejecting a higher time frame fair value gap, which is just 1 hour, okay? And we have equal lows below. Would I really be interested in taking this? Probably not, okay? And once we hit this, I will reassess because this is kind of an unbalanced, like, BPR, or this is an unbalanced price range right now. Okay, so once we hit this, I will reassess, but this is ultimately my target for now. Can you change the chart a bit and not that wide of a chart? I'm going to have to say no. If there's like 10 colorblind people in here, maybe, but this is going to be easier for most of 99% of people watching this, in my opinion, so I probably won't change it. Yeah, he said use the enhancer for YouTube. Whatever that might be. I'm going to demo short right now on NQ. You can see I'm about to sell one or buy one back. But I'm just kind of scalping demo here. I'm not taking any real money plays until the news comes out, okay? If I do, I will say if it's demo or real, by the way. Yeah, Cosmic Jinx says use the enhancer feature for YouTube. It might help. I'm not sure what that is, but you guys could try that. If you are interested, these were, again, I'm not sure. I don't care if you trade demo. I don't care if you trade real money. Okay, as long as I'm teaching ICT, so I don't care how I teach it. I'll still take. I took real money yesterday. Okay, and just some days I choose the demo. It depends on the news. It depends on whatever. Okay, I posted a live trade on my Tradeovate yesterday on Twitter. If you missed that. Okay, usually I post paper trades on my Twitter, but yesterday I posted my first live recording of an actual trade. So anyone in here thinks, oh, you can only trade demo, okay, go watch that video. There's no other executions the whole day. It's a nice 10-point trade. Anyways, this is my demo, basically at 7.5K. And I started at 1,000. Okay, so it's going well. You can see right here, it started at 1,000. And I just treat this like I would my real account. I look for good setups, and make sure I'm taking good RR plays, right? So, like this morning, I longed here, got stopped, longed here again, and then sold for a nice profit. This is me kind of scalping. Longed here, this fair value gap. Okay, I know in the higher time frame we're in kind of bigger or higher time frame we're way in discount when we already took sell side, so it just made more sense to long than I don't really want to be shorting down here. Okay, you can see every single position I took was long. I never shorted once. Okay, besides right here. But I longed here in this fair value gap. Okay, was again? I tell people I say wait for a good market structure shift, right? This was not really an ideal market structure shift, but you got to realize we already took sell side, and in this situation, I feel like you don't need a market structure shift, especially that you already got your kind of power 3 going on here. So if you can see, this is consolidation. Under here is the manipulation. It kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders, even though that's not what we know it as, right? And then anywhere here to long is valid. So I like this fair value gap, so that's why I long there. Sold at the internal high. And then I longed here again, and I got stopped out at break even. You can see I got stopped at break even. And I really thought we were going to go for these equal highs or relative equal. Are they perfectly equal to the cent like ES? No, they're not. So I don't really like equal highs in NQ. I prefer them to be equal to the cent in NQ or on ES. It's it's going to be much more difficult for equal highs to the cent to form here on ES or on NQ, because NQ is in the 12,000, 13,000 range right now. Okay, so like if you're trading stock that's $12,000 or whatever, do you know how hard it's gonna be to get it to the cent, equal highs to the cent, versus ES? It's gonna be much easier. Let me just quickly change this. ES is probably gonna be much easier. And I am gonna open another chart with the new week opening gaps, because I do want to talk about that a little bit. Anyways, if you look at like ES, it's going to be much more easier to kind of have equal highs and equal lows because it's only $4,000. Are they still significant? Yes. What's the power 3? So power 3 is basically, I have a YouTube video on it. Let me just show you a Google search real quick. So power 3 is basically when we get something like, let me see if I can find the thing. Okay, here. Say when we get this. So like we get consolidation, we get a Judas swing below, which is called the manipulation, and then distribution was when we go back up. So like it's this kind of visual example here. And you can see in this situation, we kind of got it going on because we got the consolidation, which is right here. Okay. And then you get your kind of manipulation under the swing low. And then we kind of blast off. So it's like this. This is the general shape of it. Okay, this is the general shape of power 3. And I like to look for that on the, which is why I'm fully not bearish yet, by the way. So this, because the power 3, I'm not really, this is just really stupid, the short down here, which is why you can saw on demo I never had any short executions. Okay, I do want this high to be hit, so as long as we hold this, okay, I'm assuming we should use this for support now, and we should go hit this. That would be my guess. But you can kind of see how I use the power 3 to realize that shorting down here is very, very dumb, in my opinion. Let me just turn these off. It's kind of messy. The only reason I shorted this is because, actually, that's another method. I'm not going to take my time to explain that. Anyways, you can see I sold at the bottom because I again, I don't like shorting these equal highs above, but I do understand there can be a Judas swing before we hit these equal highs, which is what I anticipated. So yeah, that's kind of the power three. If you just do a quick Google search, you can see it. What is that POI at the reversal area? What do you mean? Ha 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 ha. I'm not sure what that means, but let me just get rid of this. It's kind of messy. Anyway, so yeah, I guess overall my bias is bearish, and yeah, I do. It's just, I got him the other day. I usually don't get sick like that. UC London took both sides of Asia. Yes, that is another great point to bring up. Okay. If you look carefully on, if I go to my ES chart, right? Okay, where's the Asia high and Asia low? By the way, this should play out. Just want to kind of see if this plays out. Okay, the only reason I like this is because, again, this is an inverse fair value gap. We have equal highs above. So would you short this fair value gap? Absolutely not. Okay, do you want to use as support to get to these highs? Yes. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And this is the high in ES that I'd be targeting as well. Anyways, yeah, so if you look at ES, the low and high of London were, or the low of high in Asia were, okay, you can see, this is the open of Asia right here. So this was the Asian range, okay, up to like 2, I guess, and then this is where London opened. Okay, what I want you to notice is, see how we went up above the Asia range? Okay, so see how we went above the Asia range right here? And this is something that, if you guys know T-Trace on Twitter, he's a good follow. He kind of posted this, okay? So this is where I got this from. So credit to him. Anyways, when we take out both the Asia high and both the Asia low, that likely means open can be choppy and not ideal price conditions to trade. Okay, so that is something you want to keep in mind. It's you can't avoid it. You just want to be careful in the morning session when you want to trade it. Okay, this should hit here in a second. I did call this out in my Discord. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I did call out on my Discord, so I'm gonna update that real quick. Okay, so again, you can see why it's really dumb to short down here, and you can see I just called that long right there. Okay, even though I'm bearish, am I calling shorts here? Absolutely not. It's just stupid to short down here, right? Very nice, Christian. And if you look carefully, look at this 1 minute. Look at this 1 minute zone, or look at this zone down here I have, okay? I wanted to see this hold the support. Why? It's because it's an inverse SIBI. Okay, so that's kind of why I had in my chart. So when he broke above it, I did not want to see it close back below it. If you look at the 5 minute, okay, I drew it from the 5 minute. You can see it's the only fair value gap in this range. There's this tiny fair value gap as well, okay? But it's the only solid fair value gap in the range. You can see we rejected it. As soon as you go above it, you do not want to see it close back above this. So this is kind of me using the inverse fair value gap to go long here, okay? Right, if profitable, why sell? Why sell what? Why sell subscriptions? I have a perfect tweet for that. One second. I was waiting for this moment for someone to ask me this. Let's see here. Give me 2 seconds. The market did just open again. We just set my target here. So would I long this? Absolutely not, because we hit these equal highs already. Okay. If you look at ES, I am watching the zone to act as support. Okay, it is a 1 hour fair value gap. We've not closed above it on the 1 hour, but like obviously we did in the 5 minute. Because we took sell side here, I'm not fully bearish yet here. I don't really, even though I am overall bearish, I think we do have some more upside first. Again, this was a nice play. I did take this on my futures account, but I called that in Discord if anyone's in next commentary. All right, let me quickly go to this thing. Remember, there is data in 15 minutes. Okay, so do we want to take a trade here? Nope. I guarantee you most people who are profitable are probably not touching anything here. And I'm pretty sure if I go back to my Forex Factory, I thought there was a speaker. I'm not totally sure. There may be. I'm just not quite sure. All right, let me just link you guys this tweet. Someone asked me, I'll repeat the question. He said, Ryan, if profitable, why sell? Okay, let me show you this tweet. ICT did just tweet 3983. If you guys are interested, ICT did just post on his Twitter. Apparently he thinks they're going to 3983, which would make sense because it is an ITH in this fair value gap. Just kind of watching this video real quick. Alright, this video is very confusing. Okay, I'm not going to even worry about that. Anyways, if you're interested, ICT just posted a video saying 3983. Oh, okay, shorts are from 3983. Oh, I was going to say, that's going to... Okay, yeah, I see why. Yeah. Okay, I totally get that now. I was confused. Yeah, I don't, just for you guys' reference, I've been doing ICT long enough to where I don't really look at his tweets too much anymore. I actually do look at his tweets more than usual, but as like YouTube, I don't really watch anymore. Yeah. Where am I getting this fair value gap in the middle of my screen? What do you mean? This one? Oh, it's from the 15 minute. It's kind of a 1 hour too. My prediction in Discord was sort of this. Okay, but I'm not super confident this is gonna happen anymore. Can anyone tell me why I would not be confident this is gonna happen anymore? Someone answer in chat. So I need to know. Also, for you who said, there's the tweet. News. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. One of you guys got it right. One of the 4 of you guys got it right. Yes, because of the MACD. Yes, Dimitri. Yes. So I do now notice we do have some equal highs in the 15 minute. Okay. Again, they're not 3 pairs of equal highs, but I will be keeping this in mind. Again, I have a rule. I don't short with equal highs above, if you guys don't know. Okay, and because these are on the 15 minute, these are kind of significant. So I have a rule. I will not be shorting if we get a short unless we hit these equal highs. And sometimes that rule helps me. Sometimes I just miss good moves. It is what it is. And news. Yes, exactly. Oswald, did you see that tweet I linked? Make sure to read that. Also, make sure to read this as well. I sent that tweet as well. I'm watching this order block here. As long as we hold this order block, I think these equal highs are in play. If we have sharp displacement beneath this order block, okay, there's a certain point to where we can get too far away from these equal highs where I don't care about them anymore, okay? There is a pair of equal highs way up at like 4,100 something on the 5 minute, and we got so far away from them I don't really care about them right now. But until the market shows me it wants to go back to them. So the answer is news and equal highs, okay? See how these, again, like what I said before on Q, these on a $4,000 index are the same exact high. Okay, so likely there's a lot of short stop losses there, which usually means the algorithm wants to hunt there. So that's why I have a rule not to short there. And even if we dump 100 points here, I still want to short because it's my rule. Okay, I think it's a great rule to have. Everyone in my Discord is wondering where I am. Equal highs right below fair value gap, yes. And again, we're just waiting for the data to come out, 5 minutes. I don't really care what happens here. I'm going to wait till after the data to make any assumptions. And again, remember what I said. The fact that we took out both Asia high and Asia low sets up for choppy, not ideal price conditions at the New York Open. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. Remember, we do have these equal lows down here, which I think will be hit at some point today. I'm not sure when, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. If you look at like the 2 hour, okay, this whole thing on the 2 hours is a fair value gap. So we could get a short anywhere in here. I'm just going to wait till we do get the textbook short. You really have to be patient. Like yesterday, off of open, okay? I was not expecting us to go way, way back up here. I was expecting us to go maybe here, like 4,020-ish, okay? And when we went above this level, I'm like, okay. I started getting nervous a little bit. I'm like, we could go higher. And then we got the textbook short. I'm like, okay, finally. And I ended up learning that in Discord. What's up, Tetra? What's up, Mr. Fortnite player? I think yesterday was a good kind of I think yesterday was a good example. If I just go to my Discord real quick. Okay, look what I said. So I said this. If we just go quickly into my index commentary, which I don't want to get out the screen because I think we're gonna go hit south side here in a second. Anyways, actually, I'm just gonna wait to explain this till after the data. I want to see what happens to the data. Sign your profile, Tetra? Absolutely not. So I'll explain what happened yesterday after this move. How recent should the equal highs be? I thought old equal highs are more of a threat. Discord link expired. So the equal highs I look for should be pretty recent. There's old equal highs up way up at like 4,146. I think the exact level is. I'm just saying that out of memory. And ideally, when we get like 50 points away from those, and we form bearish structure, okay, I'm not really worried about them anymore. So like right here, even though these are tiny equal highs, okay, like I still think like these are gonna trump whatever happens, okay. These are on the hour time frame. This is gonna trump whatever happens. We know we have bearish structure, like I said before when I got in the voice chat or the voice this morning. I said I was bearish for today. Why? Because again, we broke structure, okay, we're bearish order flow, okay, you can see we never, if you look at like last night, okay, what do you notice we rejected? We rejected these 5-minute order blocks, right? And again, these order blocks are the green handle before the down move, okay, so you see how we just have a bunch of red candles and we get 2-3 green candles out of nowhere, okay? This is manipulation. This is institutional candles to and I'm not going to explain the psychology behind their positions and why these form, okay? There's our YouTube videos on that. 1 second. It's really stuffy, sorry. Anyways, like the fact that we rejected these just means the order flow is bearish, okay? You can see we're in a downtrend. We rejected more order blocks, okay? So see these order blocks, green candle for the down move, green candles for the down move. As long as we keep rejecting these, the order flow is bearish. So like it's the same thing with fair value gaps. Look at this. We have an order block here. We never hit it yet, but again, we're still below it, which factually means the order flow is bearish. Okay, am I keeping in mind these equal highs here in my head? Yes, I am. It just means like shorting would be very risky. Do I have a rule not to short this? Yes, I do. Why is my rule not to short this? It's because we have equal highs, okay? Do I care if we dump 100 points and go hit sell side from here? No, I do not care. Okay? Because, again, I know that rule is going to save me. It saved me multiple times. There's the news, I think. I'm hoping this fair value gap gets blasted through, so it kind of proves my point on why I want to short it. If it doesn't, it's whatever. But now we have equal highs and low, so I'm just kind of sitting back here. Overall, I think we're going to go head down these. This is my bias. I said that this morning. That's like my overall bias. This is kind of the smaller stuff I'm kind of pointing out that I see right now. And I have to update this thumbnail on YouTube real quick. Give me 1 second. Oops. So it doesn't look like the news did a whole lot. I still think we're going to go hit sell side down here. Again, like I said a million times, I have a rule not to short with equal highs above. Do I care if I miss this move? No, I do not. I will be checking NQ in a second. I just want to, I'm quickly doing something. I will be answering all the questions real quick. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to update my Discord link in the bio first. And then I do a couple other things. Okay, that's uploaded. Now I just need to do this. Okay, my Discord link should be updated now. Okay, changes say it should be updated now. It's kind of unfortunate that we made these equal highs up here. Again, do I care one bit? No, I do not. If these equal highs weren't here, would I have shorted this down the south side? Absolutely. Okay, I'm just following my rules, guys. Everyone has their own rules. You can't go away from the rules just because I'm live streaming. Okay, so we can see NQ hit this low. Okay, and I'll share my. I already posted all my targets this morning in Discord. Okay. This was my target that I already posted in Discord. And I literally said, as long as we stay below this 15-minute fair value gap, that was my target. Let's quickly. So again, this was. I'll wait till this hits, just because I don't want to mislead anyone. Anyone know why ICT would have shorted from the 3983 level? It was a. Let me see real quick. I think it was a fair value gap as well as something. It was something else. Okay, obviously it was a fair value gap. Okay, but there's more to it. This market is not all about fair value gaps. A lot of people in hindsight are gonna be like, "Oh, I could have shorted this fair value gap," but that's not the case because you could have waited for a short here, you could have waited for a short here. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's not all about fair value gaps. Okay, now if we go and check the 3-minute out, it is still a fair value gap here. Okay, but now you got to look more to the left of your chart. Okay, it is a breaker block here. Okay, so it is this tiny little breaker. If you look at the 5-minute, okay, it's a breaker in the 5-minute, right? So these are the reasons. Okay, It's a break on the 5 minute. It's also a fair value gap. And the more that lines up in the same spot, the better. It's also a break on the 15 minute. Okay. You can argue that these two red candles are also breakers. Okay, but that's kind of why you can see that. CE of daily fair value gap. Is it? There's probably more reasons. CE of daily fair value gap is 3997.50. So again, if you, usually if you think, oh, it's just a fair value gap they shorted, usually that's more than just a fair value gap. Look what happened. Look how close we got to these equal lows. We never hit them. Okay, if I guarantee you, if I shorted this fair value gap, I would have stopped in profit here probably. My take profit would never hit, and I swear it's because these equal highs, like they're messing with the. Again, these are magnets. They're messing with the draw right now. 15-minute wick of CE 1523. Okay, that might be it. Do you know what time? Oh, right here. Oh no, I bet you it's right here. Yeah, so right here. Yeah, okay, so it's also CE of this wick. Would I expect you guys to know that in live time, and would I expect you guys to have a random CE of this random wick here? Probably not, okay? He has 30 years of experience. I don't even do that. You can see how this is messing with the draw and liquidity. This is exactly why I don't short with equal highs. It's just I've seen my take profit not hit too many times, not to be shorting with equal highs above. There it is. So there's these equal highs. This is exactly why. So I guarantee you, if I was in the trade, I would have just gotten stopped out or stopped on a profit. Let's see if we hit these ones. Again, my prediction this morning was something like this. So if you look at, like, this was my prediction this morning. I posted an index commentary. If you look at closely, it was like 3950. Let me just check this real quick. So I said we would go into this 15-minute fair value gap and you would reject. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, but have we hit the take profit yet? No, we have not. Yeah, I totally agree. So for you guys in my Discord, okay, you saw this play out. Okay, I guarantee you there's someone watching this right now who took the same exact play. They shorted here, and their take profit just didn't hit. They probably were stopped in profits, okay? And then I said we should hit these. And see, we got pretty close, and then there we hit them. Anyways, you can kind of see how these equal highs are messing with the draw and liquidity, in my opinion. Which is why I hate shorting with them above. My guess is as long as we hold this, we should go hit these equal highs now. Okay, this is the inverse fair value gap. I would want to see acceleration over this high. Otherwise, it is a good partial spot. never really fully retrace into this inverse SIBI. Let me check the 5 minute. Again, it's very interesting how I know later we will end up hitting these lows at some point because you can just see how engineered they are. They kept stopping us right at the low. What does that usually mean? That means we'll come down to them later. It's pretty obvious. But again, do I rule not to short with equal highs above? Yes, I do. Okay, am I happy that I didn't short? Yes, I am. You can see why I draw all these internal liquidity. See how much we're struggling at this internal liquidity. Okay, get there's equal highs up here, but again, it doesn't hurt to kind of draw this internal liquidity just in case we wick over it, then go back down, then hit the equal highs. Okay, that happens sometimes. Goonie, I don't know. Do I? Hold off on 950 entry because we didn't hit sell side liquidity. Yeah, that's again. Remember, we already took out the Asia high and low, so it's gonna be difficult to get a clean entry here, in my opinion. Okay, because we didn't hit sell side here, it wouldn't make sense to go long here. But the only reason why I'm saying like we do have these equal highs up here, which could make it a possibility. Okay, so like again, sometimes we don't. The sweep was already overnight, okay? Technically, the sweep was already overnight. Like, this would count as a sweep here. But because we didn't sweep the higher time frame, if you're really wanting a high win rate, it wouldn't make sense to long this, okay? If you're only caring about, like, maybe risk to reward, I mean, you could have, but just not ideal. If we get the short after we run into the regular trading gap. Yeah, I mean, the regular trading gap is this right here. Anywhere above here, I will be looking for a short if we get it. That's really the only thing I want right now. Okay, so I'm kind of forming the framework in my head for me to take a trade. I mean, it is not this yet. I'd rather see us hit these equal highs first. See how much we're struggling at this internal high? This is exactly why I drew it. Just gonna quickly check out my footprint charts real quick. This is pretty stacked, damn. It does look like we will. As long as we hold, like, this is pretty stacked right here. I'm not going to explain how to use footprint charts right now, but these are not looking bearish yet, is what I will say. So, like, what I look for is, like, in this box, I look for, like, a minus 1,000 or something like that. And if we get that, maybe that's kind of when I change my bias. But for now, it's not bearish yet. Okay, there's equal highs. Boom. So that is why, folks, I don't short with equal highs above. Okay, my take profit never would hit here. Okay, I'm assuming some of your guys isn't either. Okay, there's equal highs. I'm not gonna lie, I did just chase calls there, which I printed on. So now I'm still not fully bullish yet, okay? I'm still more bearish. It would be nice if we did get an SMT here. Okay, so I want to see an SMT here. What was that? It was us going to equal highs. I told you we'd get there. Okay, so an SMT is we create a lower high in NAS, and then we create a higher high in ES. Okay, does this mean anything right now? No, it does not. Until we get a short setup, this does not mean anything. We're still in this fair value gap. So ideally what I want to see here, okay, is this. Okay, I don't care how pretty it looks in the chart, but that's ideally what I want to see. I'm not going to blindly short though. So SMT is basically when we create a lower high on one index, but a higher high in the other. So if I just quickly turn on this SMT indicator, or this, if I go to divergences, okay. Type 1 if you, type 1 in chat if you understand. If you understand why I would not have shorted now to these with these equal highs above. Do you totally get why now? Do you get why that's one of my rules? And do you see why I said, okay, we're probably going to go for these equal highs when we got like right here? Based off of this momentum candle through this inverse fair value gap, I said, my exact words was, I bet you we're going to go get we should go get these equal highs as long as we hold this, okay? Do you type 1 if you understand that? If the stream is delayed, what you can do is you can speed up your... You can speed it up by going to settings and going to 2 times speed, and it should give you only a 15-second delay rather than a 30-second delay. Okay, good. Glad you guys understand that. Remember, also, pay attention to this order block. Remember, have this drawn here. Okay, it's technically speaking, factually speaking, order flow is still bearish as long as you stay under this order block, okay? If we get any acceleration or any big move above this order block, you'll know when we do. Okay, again, I don't want to switch my bias, but I may have to. But for now, I am bearish from here. And now that we went over these equal highs, this is like the perfect sweep to go back down. Okay, I'm glad you guys understand that. Seems like there's a lot of ones in chat. For SMT, so on my SMT chart, I kind of have both on. Oops. So I do watch for both. You can see right here, like, we pump off this SMT, this one actually fails, okay? And you don't see a lot of these that fail, especially the pivot strengths over this, okay? This one works, this one fails, obviously. Let's see if there's a YM here one somewhere. This one works. This one does fail. This is the 5 minute. I probably should have. This is the 1 minute. I should go in the 5 minute. Okay, so like this one works, this one fails. This one works, this one fails. Again, any SMT at the top is going to be bearish. Any SMT at the low is going to be bullish. This one works out pretty nicely. Both of these end up working. This ends up semi-working. This ends up semi-working. This ends up... These, all three of these end up really working out. Okay, but this is a lagging indicator a little bit. I don't really need this anymore, but I kind of pay attention to it just in case. Okay, literally, I already know if there's an SMT. So, like, right now, there literally is... There's, factually speaking, there's an SMT here. Okay, do I see any shorts set up here yet? No, I do not. But there is an SMT here. So, if I was a trader who tried taking trades based off of liquidity and SMTs, this would probably be my trade right now. My stop would be above this high. This would probably be my trade right now. Okay, not based off a market structure shift, but based off a liquidity purge NES and based off a SMT off of NAS, okay? And I know there are traders who trade like that. We do have equal lows here. See, okay, now we hit them. What's going on, number one? Oh, I asked people if they understood why I don't short with equal highs above, even though we had these equal lows down there. Because you can clearly see if you sorted here, and if you didn't take profit anywhere down here, you would have gotten wrecked. Yeah, I'll speak a little louder. Sorry, my mic was a little away from me. Yeah, my SMT these are my settings. You can turn your pivot strength to 3 if you want. Okay, I think 5 may be the best, but 5 is a little more laggier. I don't know, I just like 5. And I don't really, I know if there's an SMT myself, okay? This is for new guys. Okay, hopefully you've time to do that. Okay, this is again, as we have an SMT up here, I do want to see a stump. I'm just going to make this a little less. Thank you, sir. Turn up your audio. My audio is up now. Can you hear me better? Again, if you look at this, like here, look at this real quick. Okay, we have a 5-minute gap here in NQ. So now that we have the SMT and we hit equal highs and yes, the only reason I'm drawing this gap is because I want to see us close below it and not go back above it, okay? That would be like the best case scenario. Thank you. Okay, that's good. This is the reason why we're having trouble here. I think it's a breaker. Okay, so you can see this Candle right here, the screen candle for this down move. Okay, it's also, let me check the 5 minutes. It's not on the 5 minute, obviously. Okay, here's the fair value gap on ES. I also want to see us go through. Are we factually, are we bullish here? Yes, obviously we are, because again, we have this fair value gap below. Okay, but do I want a long here? No, I do not. Okay. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if we get like a confirmation dump through this fair value gap. If not, I'm just not going to take anything probably. Footprints don't look too bearish yet. This is where you have to be patient and wait for the chart to give you an entry if we do get one. Why didn't it mitigate the fair value gap lower? What fair value gap? Can you tell me a time and a time frame? Yes, this is seek and destroy conditions, and I already said that. Why? Because again, we took out Asia high and low. Okay, so if we're taking out the Asia high and low, like I explained before, that means these are not ideal price conditions you want to trade. No, I still do. Like, I'm still watching this breaker right here. So it's a fair value gap and a breaker. I want to see this dump through. By the way, guys, if you don't follow my Twitter already, go follow it. It's Dodgy's DD. I'll just write a quick link in chat. I mean, I'm sure most of you are already from Twitter. Because I do post a lot of educational stuff on there if you are confused about some of the stuff. So you can see we're obviously holding this breaker. So like, technically speaking, we're not bearish yet, right? But like, would I take this? Absolutely not. Okay, I'm just kind of waiting. There's no 2022 short model here. Okay. So I'm not really trying to do anything yet. This is where, like, yesterday when I was in stream with people, I was expecting a short, but we just never got it till the afternoon, so we might just not get a short till the afternoon, and that's totally okay. So just kind of wait here. Until I see the entry model that I enter with, I'm not doing anything. I don't really care. Then I'm not going to do anything. It just means I'm saving myself money right now. Okay, I'm not going to guess. I'm not going to try to guess without any sort of confirmation set up here. Okay, so this SMT will probably be deleted in a second, is my guess. Which means there probably won't be any SMT anymore. We did hold this 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, so there was nothing to short here. Again, like I said, footprint chart wasn't really bearish yet. You can see just it's insanely bullish right now, okay? This delta or this volume up here is crazy. So I want to see all that get ripped back down through if I want to run a short. In crypto, I don't really trade crypto that much. So I'm not totally sure. Okay, we got another fair value gap here. Would I long this? Absolutely not. We still have the SMT, which is interesting. Okay. Okay, so far this is good. This is good. This is the dump that I want to see through this fair value gap. Okay. So we held the SMT, which is technically good. The SMT got stopped on the M1. This is not, it did not get stopped in the 5 minute yet. Okay, the SMT is still here in the 5 minute. So you can see it's still clearly lower high here and lower and higher high here. Okay, and where did we just pump up to? We just pumped up to the order block. Okay, so we finally hit that order block. Again, it's as long as we stay below this, I am expecting us to go dump the sell side. SMT with YM. Yeah, I see that. This is gonna be tough to trade in, but I still think I know the direction, and the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, again, these equal lows. I'd be very surprised if you don't come down and hit these later. I do want to see us accelerate to this breaker. I'm not sure if Bullard's still speaking. I don't think he is, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Where would your stop be for the SMT? My stop would just be above the SMT. Okay, this would be the play really ideally here. You can see every single time, okay, something I want you to realize. Every single time we sweep one of these lows, okay, look what happens. We just retrace, okay? This is what seek and destroy conditions are, okay? And you can see every single time we sweep a low, we just keep going back up. Why is this happening? It's because, again, the Asia session, yes, I do. The Asia session took out both the high and the low. So what does that mean? That means every single time we go sweep a high, we're just going to keep dumping. We're going to go retrace, dump lower. Okay, you can see this worked perfectly. My target is down here from this fair value gap. See how we took buy side? We had the SMT. This was your confirmation entry, which is why I drew it. Again, see how every time we hit this low, we just go back up again? This is why you have to be careful on a day like see how the speed bump is a very this breaker is a very high speed bump here. Okay, we got equal lows here now. If you did short this for a value gap, I would take partials here. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of these seek and destroy conditions, and then this would be your final target. Okay, and the reason why you want to see us hit here is because if you zoom out, if you back away from your screen right now, and you saw this line, what does this look like? This looks like support, okay? So where the retail traders likely have their stop losses, they probably have it on that line, which is probably where the market wants to target. I do go live every day in my Discord. It is closed right now, though. But what I'm trying to say is, like you can't. It's in through Patreon Discord. It's just closed. Okay, this is another good partial spot. Okay. The reason why I'm saying that is because there's this order block here. Again, these are all just going to be speed bumps. If fair value gap is skilled, I'm not sure what you mean by that. My whole Discord did to short this. I see them talking about a chat. This is exactly the model that I teach them to look for. Okay, but this would be a partial spot. This breaker would have been a partial spot. This would probably be my final target. I did get 30% in options there. I didn't out directly like, oh, I'm going short here, but you can see exactly this is the model, okay? Why do you think I had this fair value gap here? Is because we still have the SMT, okay? We dump through this fair value gap, and when we do that, you want to see these used as resistance. And again, notice how I've not had any buy side lines marked up here. I only have the sell side marked, okay? Ideally, my trailing stop would be probably above here now. Okay, a strong displacement above that would be my trailing stop. Okay, I would not want to see back above there. And this is now an inverse breaker block. Okay, so we'd want to see this used as resistance now. And there's a couple PD rays in the wave here. Okay, you can see there's this volume imbalance. So I'd not want to see ideally too much above this anyways, because it is an inverse breaker. If we do get above it, that just means you should probably get out. Okay, you'll know off the candle if you should get out or not. Okay, you'll see a ton of displacement. Ideally, the stop would be a close back above this mean threshold. Okay, so the stop would be a close back above here. If your entry was here, then I would just get out now, because again, you're probably going to be a break even here. Okay, I got on my options contract where I drew this order block though. Footprints are very, very bullish here. Candle closes in 20 seconds. I want to see this. again, for the sake of if you're in a short here, okay, I want to see this candle on footprint just totally destroyed. Doesn't really look like that way right now. Okay, so there's no close above here, but it's probably a good idea to just get out because, yeah. So, again, I do not like that displacement back up there. This is why I said this would be another partial spot, okay? Do you guys understand why I said this would be partial spot? It's because this is order block down here. And it was also a fair value gap on NAS too, okay? So it was this fair value gap on NAS. And if our bias is wrong, and if my bias is wrong, and we do not go and hit the sell side, do I really care if I'm taking a loss or a win? No, I only care about risk management here because I don't want to lose money, okay? So, well, I'm very lucky I almost sold my option, and I sold right when he hit this order block. And you can see this play, obviously this hit 1R, okay? So 1R would be right here, so you would have taken half partial of 1R, and now your stop would just be a break even for this play. Again, the momentum of this candle is very, very, very strong. This actually was not as strong as I thought, but again, my edge is ICT, but risk management is more important. So if you shorted this, you just would have gotten stopped at break even, and that's exactly why I said take partials there. Okay, so risk management's much more important at that point in time. I don't care if we go hit these later, because I would have taken a loss here if I just didn't scale there. So it's definitely a good thing I did that. So anyone on a queue, they probably just would have got stopped out of break even here. Okay. Again, risk management's always going to be much more important than ICT. Okay, whatever strategy you do. But you can see that was a pretty nice trade nonetheless. Okay, so this short did go, how many points? 9.5. Went about 10 points at the top. So whether you got 5 to 10, that was probably a pretty decent trade. And if you are newer and did not catch that, don't worry. Okay, I know a lot of my veteran guys in Discord caught that because that was just a clear textbook model entry. So again, don't feel bad if you caught that. We should go back and hit this high in a moment. I'm not trying to fade my footprint chart here, just too bullish. I don't want to fade that yet. Okay, there's the high. So again, they're engineering a lot of liquidity down here, which tells me we're gonna come back here at some point. So I'm just kind of waiting. Okay, so we did close above this order block, okay? We did not close above the mean threshold yet. Okay, so we didn't close above the mean threshold, but which means yes, I would still take a short here if we got it. Okay, but if we do look at the higher time frame, see we are in premium discount. Okay, we did just hit premium as well. So again, anywhere in this range, I will still be looking for a short. It doesn't matter where I get it. Do you guys understand why this was a very, very good partial spot? You can see I even drew this black line before we bounce off it. Type 1 if you understand why that was a good partial spot. For those who don't understand, it's because of, again, this order block right here, okay? Spread candle before the stop move. I knew it was going to be a point of support or resistance, right? And it's also a breaker block down here as well. That's why it's, even if your bias is wrong, it's really, really good to take partials. I still think we will end up hitting this at some point. Okay, there's too much engineered liquidity down here. You can see footprint charts. There's no red volume candles here. This is the only one. This 1922 here. This is kind of those seek and destroy those seek and destroy conditions though, where again, because we took out the Asia high and low, we keep taking out the highs and lows in New York session too. Also, see how when we broke this above this, see how we wicked back down and used it as support. Why are you bearish? I don't understand that we still have to take out a bunch of buy side and we took out sell side. I'm bearish because if you back away from your screen, okay, again, these are pretty engineered lows down here, okay, which I will eventually, I think we'll hit. And if you look, there's a break in market structure shift here. Okay, there's also break of structure here. There's not too much displacement here. But literally this whole, if you look at this whole candle, okay, all this is a 2-hour fair value gap. So all this is a 2-hour fair value gap. So I'm kind of expecting a short to come in here at some point. Okay. And yes, so we did. So what they're saying is we did technically sweep sell side. Did we sweep this external sell side? Not yet, but we did sweep internal. So again, you have to accept the risk. If we know we swept internal, okay, it's very, very risky to go short. But I still think it's doable, because if we look at like the 1 minute time frame, okay, we knew we'd equal highs up here, right? So does it make sense to maybe try short after we sweep these highs and we know we've engineered liquidity? Yeah. And the chances are you're not going to get totally wrecked on a short if you get it. Like, this was a clear short model. We went 10 points. You're not going to get totally wrecked if you trade that. But may the price target not hit for a while? Yes, that could be the case, but that's also why you take partials. Okay, so again, this was a clear 2022 entry model. I guarantee you, if you checked ICT tweets today's and you'd be like, oh, show me your plays. Guarantee you a ton of people would have shorted here, and they would have taken partials down here, and they would have gotten stopped at break even here, okay? Or they would have gotten stopped for a loss. Okay, this is pretty textbook. If you do not see this in live time, I would suggest studying a little more. Yes, I see the breaker. You took a small scalp on it. I am going to open up just the daily. We still have the SMT and has, which is interesting. Anyways, I'm just gonna quickly open up this indicator real quick to show you guys. This is a good indicator. So weekly opening gap indicator is pretty good. Okay, so if we zoom out on like the 1 hour, okay, this is a new day opening gap. We're also in a new week opening gap. So we just retraced to the new day opening gap. Like he said you took a scalp on. I'm assuming you took a short setup. Okay, then look at the 5 minute. This is an order block. It's also a fair value gap. But am I going to go against my bias? So if I believe there's engineered liquidity below, am I going to long this? Probably not. It doesn't mean you can't long it. It just means that I'm just not going to go against my bias because I'm going to have conviction that I think we're going to hit sell side at some point. Okay, so no matter when it happens, I don't care when it happens. I'm not going to fade my bias here. ICT does not use a footprint chart. That's kind of an extra tool I like to use. And it's kind of like an extra tool I like to use. Okay, now look at this short here. This would not be like this would be a low risk, low probability. Okay, so this short right here, your entry would be right here. The reason why this is low probability is because, again, if we go to the 5 minute chart right here, right? This is a 5 minute bullish fair value gap. Do you see this? So the order flow is still factually bullish. So would I take this short? Definitely not, because again, all this is we're about to have this order block like I said before, and this is still factually bullish. Now, if you're a risk to reward trader and you think in terms of risk to reward, you're like, oh, 4.31 risk to reward. Would a risk to reward trader potentially take this short? Probably, but would I? No, because I don't think these are going to be accurate enough for me to be consistent with in the long run, and I like consistency. Okay, the psychology of losing hurts me sometimes, so I just don't take these plays. Okay, if you're low risk, high RR trader, okay, this might be a better play for someone like that to take. Okay, but there is no market structure shift here. Okay, do you guys see a market structure shift? Nope, we don't, and we don't see any. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so basically there's no market structure shift here, okay? So this would not be an ideal short for me to take. It is low risk though. I know some people like those. And then your target would just be this liquidity down here, okay? So I'm just going to leave this up on my screen to see if it works. I don't really care if it does or not. I noticed when the 2022 model plays out, supply and demand days we retrace in the premium. I just said supply and demand days. I'm an idiot. Seek and destroy days. When you're tracing on premium discount, usually goes into a reduction block, and then there's inducement on those yet. Yeah, so there's a lot of inducement and a lot of retracing in the premium discount on seek and destroy days. There is a lot of that, I will admit. Okay, so if any of you guys did just take the short, if you were risk reward traders and took the short, I'd probably just move my stop to break even now. Okay, maybe this was a 5-handle move, so maybe take 25% off here and then hold the rest till down here, okay? Do I care that worked? No, I'm not trying to force a play with 180 people watching me. I'm just kind of showing you the potential plays you could take. Okay, now I'm going to keep this fair value gap on my chart. Why? Because I want to see us accelerate back below this, and it also lines up with this fair value gap here. And there's still that SMT with NQ. We still have not technically hit the stop loss here. Contemplating buying your Patreon. How often do you call signals per week? Lately, I've actually been calling more than usual, like straight up alerts. So I think the last week, like I've really called 6 or 7 things. I made pretty obvious. Okay, I'm entering here. I'm getting out here. Other than that, not typically. Most of the time I'm pointing out the bias, and I'm like, okay, here's a bias, and I would say I'm pretty accurate on that. So my Patreon is closed right now. I think there's like I am running 50% off lifetime, which is 300 something, where you don't have to pay ever again, and I am. The basic tier is $15 a month, and it's closed right now. But I am opening up April 1st and 2nd. And I'm closing back down before my semester ends. I know, I am. But yeah, I live trade every day in my Discord if you're in my Patreon, and I do these free lives like maybe once every like week or two. I did one last week Monday, I think. Look at, if you just want to join my Patreon just for me alerting you, that's not gonna help you. I don't think. Most people in there, they kind of see why I take what I take. I do, even though I do still call play sometimes. Like I called quite a bit this week. It's gonna be more if you're gonna learn much more in there. And it's not me reteaching ICT concepts. I just want to make that clear. I'm not reteaching ICT concepts. I'm literally just showing based off what I've learned from ICT, what I'm seeing in live time, and how I apply the concepts I learned so you guys can see. Yes, I'll open the $15 per month one. Ouch. Yeah, I know. Broadening formations are amazing on Seek and Destroy days. So if you guys haven't realized, I'm not pointing these, like there's some stuff in my head that I see that I don't point out, okay? This is a pretty clear broadening formation. Okay, so see how it's an uptrend line, okay, not a downtrend line like you usually expect. So we're not going to break above this. It's like, it just shows how the stop runs. Is my Forex funds good? Yes, I believe so. Tetra, I'm not in this play right now, but I did, however, scalp it. We're back at the CE of this new week opening, the new week opening gap. Okay, I want to see this dump do this. Okay, this is my prediction from earlier. We're creating a little downtrend line here. Do you utilize macros? No, I just play the chart. I mean, I've been able to predict. I was, like, I knew, like, the other day when we had FOMC, I didn't care what the news was in FOMC. All I knew was we were going to take out buy side either way, so and we did. So, I mean, I don't really predict news based off of, I don't really look at macros for the chart. We do have some time equals highs here. So we could go back over them and then reject again. Okay, so we swept these equal highs again. This is why I draw these equal highs on my chart. Okay, even though they're tiny, we still hit them a lot of time. We go over them and we sweep. Today, seek and destroy, because if you look at the Asia session, we took out the high and the low of both the Asia high and low, okay? So that's usually when we take out both the high and low of Asia. That's usually when we take out, that's usually when we have seek and destroy days, okay? So do you see how we swept these equal highs into this fair value gap and we rejected it, okay? There is 5 points right there. So from 3959 it went to 3952 obviously, but the 5 point play was 3954. So there's another 5-handle move if you guys are looking for these 5-handle moves. You think the dollar will ruin this trade? So my opinion, the dollar is, I don't really look at it as much as I used to. I'm going to quickly check out the dollar. I've been able to get a very good read on ES. Oh, wow. I've been able to get a very good read on ES without looking at the dollar. So if I'm looking at the dollar right now, I get why you're saying what you're saying. So on the dollar, we did take out buy set up here. But we are also in a 15-minute fair value gap, okay, with a downtrend line here. So I think we're gonna end up breaking out of this at some point. If I had to say gun to my head, here's what I think's gonna happen to the dollar. But I don't really look at the dollar too much anymore. I just don't think it's. I don't know. I've been able to read ES just fine without it, you know. I get why you're saying the dollar could ruin this trade. I've seen some days where the dollar does not move with the ES and it doesn't matter some days. Other days it does. I don't want to pick and choose and guess though. So you can see I still have this zone drawn. Now we're back under it. I do not want to see us close back below or above it. Do you remember when everything clicked for you? Because I think I started the mentorship as well. To be honest, it probably took like 2 or 3 months. And even then when everything clicked, I still was making horrible trades and just stuff like that. And I finally passed the funded like 2 weeks ago. And I think really everything started clicking when I started drawing all these like old fair value gaps. Okay, I started drawing all these old fair value gaps and using them as inversions, and just I started seeing more how the algorithm was used. Like a lot of times these algorithms, they respect these old fair value gaps, these old consequent encroachment stuff. And when you realize like, oh, it's starting to respect all these different things, it's kind of like you're putting a puzzle together. And that's when I was like, okay. And I'll look for a short setup or long setup off of each one I was expecting, you know. And I think the more I started keeping these old stuff in my chart, like ICT, he obviously had that 15-minute CE of that wick on his chart from earlier, okay? I would have never had that on my chart, but I also have had other wild things on my chart from like weeks ago that no one ever mentions. I kind of see how react to them. And I feel like the more I started annotating my chart with old kind of fair value gap stuff, I started realizing how the algorithm kind of used these old fair value gaps into, so like, right here, the old me, I never would have kept this on my chart. Okay, but you can see how this fair value gap and this fair value gap lined up. So this is why I made this fair value gap yellow. Okay. And it was above equal high. So like everything just started coming together at a certain point. All I did was watch the ICT 22 mentorship, and I did watch a few of the core content months. I am in the middle rewatching 5 right now. I think 5's a good one. I'm rewatching that. Do you think this stuff works on 1,000 tick as well as the time-based charts for an entry? I don't have enough experience to answer that with those. I use the daily and weekly. Because I'm a day trader and scalper, I don't really check the weekly too much. But like the weekly, I think is important if you want to get an overall general direction of the market. See how we keep sweeping these highs and lows here? Like every time we sweep, go back up. Every time. Okay, there's a lot of mini broadening formations. Okay, see all these mini broadening formations? We just keep sweeping. This is what happens on these seek and destroy days. Yeah, so if I go to the weekly chart real quick. Like the weekly chart, you just got to beware. Okay, I know there's a propulsion block here. Okay, on the weekly chart, I'll just call this, or not, I'll just say this is an order block. Okay, so I know there's this block here on the chart, so which means for you newer guys, this could be a point of resistance. So this would be a possibility. Okay, does this matter when I'm day trading and scalping? Probably not, but it's just something to be aware of. If I'm day trading or scalping, like I said before, I usually just check the 1 hour to see the general maybe direction of the day, so I know the order flow for that day. Someone just DM'd me saying, Ryan, want to join your private Discord? This is one of my old people I used to talk to on Twitter. And they go, I like the way you teach for some reason. A lot of people say that. I try to explain stuff a lot. Like, sometimes I over-explain, but I feel like that helps some people. And you capitalize on broadening formations. I don't really capitalize on... What I'll say is, if I'm in a broadening formation and I see one forming, I'll look for a short off the top of it. Or for, like, the bottom, I'll look for a long. But if I think the bias is bearish here, why would I try to look for a long off the bottom of this broadening formation? It just makes no sense. Do I see any good ICT setups in US 30? Yeah, you're a good teacher. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I learned from ICT, so thank him. I also pick up stuff really, really fast. So there's some stuff I picked up where ICT really hasn't mentioned a lot. And I'm sure there's more stuff that he hasn't taught, but I pick up things really fast based off of what I'm watching. Okay, so you can see DXY is almost doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to break through this. Okay, and we are bouncing off fair value gap, so it would make sense. Do I really think ICT's, or do I really think DXY is going to have a ton of effect on this right now? Not really, but so I'm just going to stop watching this. I'll check it later. US 30 is the Dow. US 30, I would say all three indexes are kind of having the same setup here. It's kind of like that broadening formation where I just think we're going to get some sort of short here or something. I guess as long as we stay below this BISI, we're bearish, but... Okay, so this BISI is this bullish fair value gap. See how I use it kind of as an inverse, so I want to see us stay below it. You've got the color number. You've got the color numbers on your candles, like the color, and I tried to find it. I think so. Actually, no. All I use is this. I use this with 75% opacity. Okay, you can pause and go back. Analysis on gold. Okay. You're testing me a little bit. What is gold? This. Immediately, at the second I take a look at this chart, this second, I don't even have to do any analysis. I would say we're going to hit buy side. Okay, that's the second I look at this chart. That's what I think. Okay, so let's see how accurate that is. All right. yeah, to be honest, gold. I don't want to mislead anyone here, but yeah, that's the one thing that people noticed. One thing people notice in my Discord when I live trade is I always draw the mini equal highs and lows. Like we always end up hitting them. It's funny. So like we've mini equal lows right here now. I think like every single one I've drawn so far we've hit today. Okay, there are days where sometimes we don't hit them, but most of the I would say like 80-90% of the time we do hit them. Do I pay for trading view? Yeah. So gold, I would say, is bullish. Okay, so I think my analysis, my 10-second analysis is right. Okay, this is not financial advice, but, oh geez. All right, I don't like this. So we did take out a major buy side in the daily. Someone asked me this, I think, down here, and I said I was bullish here. And I think this was my target. This was like, I forgot when this was. I think this was a couple weeks ago, but this was my target. So I see we hit it. So now it's still risky to long here, but I do see we're bouncing off a fair value gap, obviously. So like, I would say the draw would be this again, but it's just definitely, look how bad risk reward this is. It's just horrible to take. I will say if we were to get like a dump under this new week opening gap maybe, or dump under this 5-minute fair value gap, if I was watching gold, I probably would have tried longing this. You could probably use this as an inversion maybe to short it. Again, I don't trade gold. I don't want to. I'm being very careful what I say here because I see you take out buy side on daily. I'm not going to give you a general direction right now because I don't want to make any degen into this, but yeah, I mean, if I was watching gold last time, I probably would have been, okay, this is a good long, and now my stop loss will just be below here. Okay, I don't want to make it seem like you always have to be right in ICT. There's another factor trading, that factor being you want to just look for good plays with good risk reward, okay? And I feel like this is a good risk reward for a long. But I mean, obviously you don't want to enter now because that's just stupid. But this would probably be like you could probably juice like a maybe 2-hour trade off this almost. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with gold. I'll see what happens. I bet you on a 15-second time frame, this is probably a 15-second fair value gap. Let me just verify this. Yeah, it is. 396.75, 3962. We are still, again, this is just horrible conditions to trade, in my opinion. If you did get in this play, your stop would probably just be a break even now. It would be a risk-free trade. I'm sure you guys have probably took partials already, but so I would not reshort this. If I was in position here, I just want to see this hold probably. Okay, and it is a 15-second fair value gap. So if you look right here, okay, it's a tiny 15-second. And if the bias is truly bearish, I would want to see a rejection here. Look, we got equal lows here in the 15 second. Oh, we just broke them. Damn, look at that. Look at that respected. Look how well that respected. That's crazy. Look, we hit the top of the broadening formation that we dumped. Ideally, I would not want to see back above this high now, okay? And the reason why I say that is because it's an intermediate term high inside this fair value gap, okay? So if we end up re-breaking above this, we'd probably break up with a lot of displacement, which means you're probably going to get stopped out, okay? But trading is all about risk reward, so do I care if I'm right? No, I do not. Yeah, so again, what he said is the whole price action today has been around this new week opening gap, which is why we're probably consolidating here so much. And another reason is, again, that reason of because we took out Asia high and low, that's another good reason. This is very, very detrimental to watch. If you look right here, okay, there's a tiny 15-second fair value gap here. Okay, so we're in between two. Again, our bias, obviously, we want to see this broken through, but this is obviously going to act as a speed bump. Okay, look at this. Let's see if this gets respected. It kind of is. It's a tiny 15-second volume bounce. There's one here too. That's crazy. Both of these got respected. You can see this wick down into this 15-minute fair value gap. This one just got respected. It isn't that hard to hit 20%, you said? Okay, now this is the third PD array here. Remember what ICT says about getting broken 3 PD arrays? That's means they're probably going to go back up. So here's the first PD array, second, third. And this is a 15-second time frame. So this is a 15-second time frame, so it's not going to hold as much weight, but it's obviously not good if we break through all 3. If I was in a position, maybe if we broke through the third, I'd be like, okay, maybe I want to get out, okay? Doesn't mean you have to, okay? If you're a risk-reward trader, you're obviously going to follow your plan. Your stop is going to be break-even after taking partials or whatever. This play did go about 10 points. I like to take partials around 5 or 10 with a stop at break-even. So, yeah, all these are getting blown through now. These PDs are getting blown through. This is what I obviously do not want to see. I don't even know how I'm doing and I don't know how I'm speaking on this price action. If you really take a second to zoom out, okay, just look at this. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't know why I'm still, like, it's very hard for me to talk through this. I'm trying the best I can. Okay, I already knew it was going to be like this, though, today, okay? Because, again, the thing, we already took out Asia highs and lows, so this is the price action I was already expecting. I'm not really surprised or anything. But the fact that I'm trying to talk to you, this is kind of stupid. And footprints are pretty bullish, I would say, here, so. Yeah, I use Ninja for the 15-second charts. We might not really get a good setup for the afternoon session. It's not an inside day right now. It would be only be an inside day if we were still inside this daily candle right here, which we're not. Boom. All right, please dump here. In the back of my head, I really want us to dump here, like, but I'm not saying anything. This is so hard to watch. I really want us to not do this for every gap here. And then just go hit the take profits, and then I can get off. As you can see from my top tier analysis, we have some ascending triangle up here, okay, according to my calculations. I'm sure the older adults probably didn't find that funny, but if you came from retail trading land, you probably know what I'm talking about. Please dump through here. Yesterday morning was kind of tough for me as well because I was expecting a short all day and we went higher than I expected, and then we finally got it in the afternoon, but it was after I got out of voice chat. It was after I got out of voice. Let's go. Okay, this is a good sign. Should hit these equal lows now. This broadening formation's fire, dude. Wow. And again, there's a lot more in my chart that I'm not drawing, okay? I know this is also an order block and a fair value gap up here, but am I going to draw a 1,000,000 PD arrays? No, I'm not. Haroldito said, I like you, bro. Subbed. Oh, I appreciate that. You don't have to do that. If you do want to, though, if you do want to press the subscribe button with notifications on, then feel free. Yes, Ibrix. It actually probably did. If I like turn on the EVs right now, I bet you it did. No, it didn't. It went way above the 9 EMA. Okay, there's equal lows. Okay, so another thing I want to explain is if you're in a short position from up here, right, and you see us have this broadening formation, and a lot of people say, well, how do you manage your trade when you're actually in the trade? Well, if I was in the trade, for example, my stop would probably, instead of, let's say my entry is way up here, even though it wasn't, and I saw this broadening formation, my stop, to save myself from getting stopped, would probably just be a close above this broadening formation would be my stop. Okay, that would probably be my stop instead of just waiting to get stopped out of profit. I subbed. Someone said I subbed the notifications. You better be good. What if I'm not good? Alright, it's the moment of truth. Will we finally hit? Okay, here's another partial target for you guys in the short. Here's another partial target. Please pick partials here. Okay, your last target's going to be right here. Okay, so notice how that low is taken right at 11:10. It's 11:10 on my Apple phone. Okay, it's 11:10. You should have taken partials there. That's the macro time. Yes, this is so random how we just hit it right at 11:10, right before the macro ended. Again, there's macro times for you guys who don't know. Where macro times where we usually run liquidity during those times. Yes, this is another speed bump. I hope we just blast through it though. You made your weekly salary today? Very good, very good. Okay, now look. We just made equal lows a lot of times, so I'm like, okay, this is still bearish. That's what I'm thinking right now. Thanks for the live stream. I'm killing it. I hope I'm not killing it. I hope I'm not killing anyone, but I'm just kidding. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wow. Okay, so this candle is very bullish. I want to see this get hard rejected. Okay, this candle, this was negative 2,000 delta, which is crazy. This was 1,300, which is still a pretty big candle, but it does not outweigh this really. But do you see why it's still a really good idea to take partials right here? Okay, or at this low. This is such an obvious low, and if we know we're in seek and destroy conditions today, we want to be taking partials at any low we can get. Okay, and yes, I would technically argue this is a bear flag. You're not wrong. Okay. So this candle just got taken out. There's the equal lows again. You can see like this was negative 2,000. This was 1,300. Okay, so that's like half. That's almost like that's only 75% of the 1,300 candle. This could be a little bit until we hit the sell side, unfortunately. I really just want to hit it, and then I can victory lap and be like, oh, I call you that. Also, what do you notice? Remember this? Was the stop loss ever hit? So this worked out. Okay, now I just need this to work out. Okay, I don't know if any's in here, but remember I had this drawn. Again, if you're a risk reward trader, this would have been a 2.5 hour play. This would have worked out very nice. Okay, and now I can show you my Discord. Okay. Now I can show you I did call that earlier. Remember when you're down here, I'm like, oh, just so you know, I did call this target this morning, but I didn't want to make people degen. Okay, remember when we were down at this low, I literally said, this was my target in NQ, and I was like, okay, I'll show you guys in Discord, but I want to wait till we hit the low first, because it's a seek and destroy day, I was totally expecting this to happen, okay? I was not surprised it happened at all. This was what I was expecting. So if I look at it in that commentary, okay, here's internal sell side. I said as long as we stay below this fair value gap on the 15-minute, okay, there's my targets. Okay, I had external, which is at 12,680. I had internal right here, which is at 12,720, and then I had partials right here, okay? So that play worked out very nicely. Okay, and if we look, did we stay below the 15-minute fair value gap? Yes, we did. Okay, so we stayed below the 15-minute fair value gap. We got the SMT with NQ, which meant what? NQ never made a higher high here, but ES did. Okay, so ES did make a higher high here, so that, and again, this is what I predicted. Okay, so here's internal. This is technically external on the 15-minute, but and like the hourly or something, this would be external. Okay, so that was beautiful. Geez, alright, well, I'm looking at this 1 minute chart right now. Because technically we did hit sell side on NQ. Okay, we technically did hit NQ. This would not be a bad idea to long. I don't want to long it though because I want to stick to my price target. I do not long with equal lows below. So I'm hoping we dump through this again, but if we don't, it's just whatever. Okay, you can see it's also a fair value gap here. You wanna see this hold down. Okay, because NQ already hit the low, that makes me nervous that okay, we might not hit it on ES, but because these are equal lows on ES, again, like I said before, I thought we were gonna hit them. Yeah, that's where I would be targeting too. Okay, so again, I want to hold this down. See, this is something I would possibly take in like a long, but again, I hope this does not work. But this is like a textbook entry model. Okay, we take sell side, we have a fair value gap. Okay, another thing I want to explain is I'm looking at this chart. I'm looking at these charts in 3D. I am looking at NQ. I'm taking everything to account. If I was only looking at just the S right now here, okay, I probably would not even think about longing. Okay, and I'm not saying too long this because there's people in chat who have the runners here to down here. Okay, I mean, by looking at a chart in 3D, I mean I'm looking at NQ, I'm looking at YM, I'm looking at everything right now, and because NQ already hit sell side, okay, that tells me okay that this possibly could work. Okay, but if I'm in a short here, do I want to see this work? Absolutely not. Okay, so I do not want to see this work. I want to see this dump through. Okay, off this 5 minute fair value gap. I'm hoping to dump through it. But yeah, by looking at charts in 3D, basically just means I'm looking at a lot of charts right now. And because NQ hit sell side already, I could see this working like I said. It's just, yeah, so it is technically working. I hope it doesn't work. I really just want this target to hit, and I'm probably going to get off live. It might be a little bit. Okay, this is good. This is good. Actually, maybe not. I'm watching the volume on this. This isn't enough volume yet. I used my footprint chart from NinjaTrader. Yeah, so that was not enough volume to dump do that. Damn it. Let's check what DXY did. Okay, so what did I say DXY is going to do? I said DXY is going to pump through this trend line up this 15-minute fair value gap. You can see what's happening. Is it a good idea to add more position? When you see this, probably not. I'll just leave your runners wherever you have them in this situation, because this is a 2022 textbook ICT model. We take sell side right here, we bounce, we form a fair value gap, and then we hit the high. Okay, that is a textbook fair value gap setup. And we also the SMT with NQ. So there's your 5-handle move from this fair value gap to this high, knowing that we are also still in a higher time free PD array that we want to see us totally reject and deplete off of. So this is why I was kind of nervous saying, with this fair value gap, I was kind of like, this is technically a textbook long setup, but like, would I take it? Probably not, because again, this is still my target. I'm not going to favor a bias, even though this worked. Okay, I stronger feeling this is probably going to work because this is a textbook. This is what ICT teaches us, and it worked. It got the 5-handle move. We hit the internal liquidity. We're still in this fair value gap technically. We're still in the 5-minute fair value gap on ES. Okay, so it's this fair value gap right here. So as long as I just want to see us hold below that, really. And I want to see this used as inversion. So I want to see us dump through this and use this as inversion. And if you look at this play, there's actually a double liquidity sweep. Okay, so there's a sweep here, these 10 equal lows, and then there's a sweep here. So this is just textbook. So I'm hoping we get like a nice volume dumping through this. Hoping for you guys in this position still. I can tell you this is where the trading gets annoying. You have to wait. Again, it's very stupid to chase after we hit any sort of target here. So we already hit we hit internal here. Even if I think we're going to external here, would I chase here? Absolutely not. This is for people already in the position. It's not looking too hot. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see the volume I want here, and also I don't know if anyone sees it, but I see some equal highs that I'm not going to draw on my chart because usually when I draw them, they always hit. We might go hit them. It's these, by the way. These are the equal highs that I see. Yeah, we're probably gonna go hit them. Okay, there's equal highs. This is what I didn't want. Technically, like, the play already worked on NQ. It's just like ES. I'm an ES trader, so I really just want to see it work on ES. If it doesn't, it's whatever. But I mean, the move has already been so good already, so it's like, who cares at this point? At this point, you just be following risk management, right? So now so DXY is above this new day opening gap, which is technically good for us in ES. Okay, there's equal highs being broken. Again, I hope if this play ends up going back to break even or whatever stop, if you're still in, I hope you understand, like, this was still a good play. Like, it's still a good play. This is just all risk management at this point, okay? It's not about being right or wrong about us hitting sell side. This is about risk management at this point. What's my target if I went long? In this situation, if I went long off here, I would take the 5 handles. I always tell people, if I think I'm going against what I think is going to happen, like, this was textbook. This was a textbook long setup, and I started explaining this before it happens. I'm like, if I was so short, I probably wouldn't want to see this because this is like technically textbook ICT long, right? When I see something like this, okay, but I still see, okay, there's still equal lows below, then I'm only going to take 5 handles. I don't care how far it goes. If you were bullish in this situation, I would just target probably up here first. But if I'm think I'm going against a trend, I'll just target like the most recent high that was made before we went to the fair value gap. So like right here, this was the most recent high made before we went back down to this fair value gap, and that's a 5-handed move. So that's what I would be targeting if I think we're going to keep going back down. Can we re-enter long in the upper fair value gap? What do you mean? What time frame are you talking about? Like, do I check VIX? Not really. I check Dixie more than VIX. So I'm just going to get rid of this now that I saw this worked. Okay, do you see how, again, retail traders, for you guys watching this, do you see how I had this wedge here, but I kind of already knew it was going to break down before it did? It's because, again, I knew there was sell side down here. We already took up buy side up here, so what I really, and again, this is we already ran stops up here, so why would you want to rerun stops after you already did? You want to see us run sell stops after, you want to see us run buy stops after you run the sell stops, right? So that's kind of why I knew. I'm sure there are people in here who still draw these wedges that I drew, but I already kind of expected it to happen. Now we have a fair value gap up here. I do not. This is NQ, so NQ is obviously much weaker than ES. And how do I know that? It's because we ran these equal lows, by the way, in ES. Okay. How do I know that? It's because this is the 5-minute fair value gap. This yellow zone is the 5-minute fair value gap on ES. This is the 5-minute fair value gap on NQ, and we're not even in it on NQ, but we are on ES. Okay, do you see also how we had these equal lows with the fair value gap right under? This is like what, if you're in a short position, this is what you do not want to see. Like, because this is all textbook long stuff. Okay, equal lows, fair value gap under, long that or whatever, right? So if you're in a short here down to sell side, which you, as a short, you want to see this get blown through. Okay, so like, ideally, you just want to get this blown through. And then you want to see it used as like an inversion. Good day. Put subtitle. I'm Spanish. I don't know how to do that. I'm just a guy trading stocks with. I don't know how to do the subtitle stuff. Maybe in the future, if I get more viewership, I will do that. Okay. Now look at this. Okay. So we know that this was a PD array. This fair value gap was PD array, right? Now this volume imbalance is PD array. This is order block is also PD array. So I want to see us break all three. And what does it mean when we break all three? That usually means your bias is wrong if you are long here. Okay. If you are long, you want to see this hold. If you are short, you want to see these broken through. And you know we are rejecting a higher time frame fair value gap, which is the 5-minute fair value gap that I've drawn right here. So you just want to see these be broken through. You can just see how algorithmic this is, though, how much of a speed bump this is. Are you not considering the 11 o'clock, 11:01 breaker because NQ took sell side? Yeah, basically. Because NQ already took breaker, it's risky. I'm not... He's talking about this one right here, these two breakers. And we never even, we top ticked one, but we never got into it. What's NQ doing here? I don't like the fact that NQ is consolidating under, like, near around sell side. Usually that means we're probably gonna go back up, but ES is much weaker, so I want to see ES lead the way here, but we're still holding these volume imbalances and order blocks, as you can see. Do I read any books? Stock books? No, I don't. I think they're all BS. I used to read stock books and I realized the flaws in them pretty quickly. Like I read Anna Colling's VPA book. I feel like VPA I still use to this day, but some of it, like, again, you have to ask yourself, why do we not, if you ever get a huge volume, why do we never get zero volume in like news events sometimes? You get like zero volume. It just makes no sense, okay? So, like ICT says, it kind of shows the market's run by an algorithm, okay? And I still think volume's important. Like, I'm literally using, when I'm watching these footprint charts, I'm watching the volume to see, I want to see like a giant selling volume here lead the way if we were to get it, okay? And that kind of gives me like a confirmation. Now these mini equal highs. I do have to leave by like 12. If this does not hit by 12, I'm probably going to get off. For anyone who's still in a short, it's just, I don't know, if I was personally in a short here, I'd probably just get out and just reassess. But, I mean, if you're in a short from up here when I said this was a low-risk sell, okay, I mean, if you don't care, it's still a free trade either way. This is where it comes down to your rules and your risk management, if you get what I'm saying. Yes, exactly. Volume confirms moves, not creates moves. Yes. Usually a lot of volume comes to good price action. And also, a lot of volume is kind of, a lot of volume is usually created around lows and highs because that's where a lot of these big guys have to get in. So do you place your stop loss in the M5 instead of the M1 for that SMT entry? Yeah, if it's like an SMT entry, I will. Okay, so we just hit those breakers. I am monitoring them. See, like on this on this pump on a footprint chart, okay, like this is it almost went from no volume here to, okay, here's 500 delta, which if I was in a position, I just get out and profit for it here. Okay, I wouldn't even care what happens. I just get out and for profit right here. Okay, it's because, again, the idea, the SMT idea, if you're ever in an ES position and I see us, okay, we hit south side of NQ, chances are after we hit south side of NQ is we're going to go back up again. Okay, and if ES is into that south side position, it's just kind of risky to hold. But Goody, I changed it to orange so you can see it better. I'll change it back, but you can't really look. You can't see it here. So the next macro is 1150 to 1210. Could be a little bit. Yeah, no problem, DC or DC. So again, like I've been saying, this is just where it all comes down to risk management, to where even though if I think sell side's down here, I don't care if I'm right that we hit down here. If I see anything threatening my position, I will just get out. Okay, I don't care about the scale in this. It's all about risk management at this point. And remember, if I said, like, remember this, if I said if you were long bias here, if you're truly wrong bias here, where'd your target be? Your target would be right there. Okay, but like, I'm not long bias here, so I don't want to see that hit in the first place. Okay, so you can see a nice dump out of that fair value gap on Q. If you look closely, okay, you can see another fair value gap here. I don't want to see this dump through again. And also, this is why you gotta take partials at this low. Okay, you can just see immediately when we hit this low, what happens? We barely displace under it, and then we just go back up again. I think paying attention to highs and lows is probably one of the most important things you can do, rather than paying attention to, oh, where's this fair value gap? Okay, if you know where old highs and lows are, it's gonna. It's gonna give you a little more information. Someone said on my Discord, do you have any tips on getting better at executions? I normally have pretty good idea of drawing liquidity and can speculate where price is likely to go, but I often struggle with getting stopped out before the move happens. That used to be my problem. I think trading on demo helped me a lot with that. Trading on demo really helps. ES is much stronger right now than NQ. Okay, this is still bullish to me, guys. I hate to say it, but like if I was in a short here, I'd probably be out. It's still bullish to me. Yeah, there it is. I actually did scalp a long position. I just didn't say anything. At the end of the day, it's unsatisfying if we only hit the partials and never hit the actual sell side. I get it, totally unsatisfying, but just kind of got to deal with it. I still think there's a possibility in the afternoon session or coming up. I still think there's a possibility we can go down and hit the sell side. Okay, it's just might not be right now. like I'm totally fine because we already hit it on Q. So like my OCT's, I have OCD. So if we don't hit a target, it's just like it messes up, like it ruins my OCD, right? But like we already hit it on NQ, so if we did get along here, I wouldn't mind taking it because we already hit internal sell side and NQ. So it's just like, okay, I'll take it if we get one. Doesn't matter to me. There's also a 15-minute fair value gap as well in NQ. Again, the only reason I'm drawing these fair value gaps here is because I'm kind of waiting to see, okay, are they going to get dumped through? Or are we going to respect them? This is an order block here and volume imbalance on DXY. So we could bounce off this and then go like this. Yes, NQ is a sell side, ES is not. That's why I would not mind taking longs. Okay, and I already scalped one on my options account. I just didn't say anything. I relate volume to shopping, sales stores. Sales make you buy. Your buying doesn't make a price move. Yes, I totally agree with that. That's a good analogy. All right, well, I'm probably just going to get off here, guys. I'm going to be honest. This is pretty slow. Again, this is not bearish yet, okay? This is factually bullish order flow, okay? So, like, this is factually bullish. So, if you are selling shorts, again, it's up to you if you want to get out of break even or... This is why I said it's very, very important to scale at this low, okay? And also, I want you to realize something else. Look at this. Okay, what is the high of this candle right here? Okay, the high of this candle is... I'm going to get rid of this. The high of this candle, oops, right here, oh my god, is 3944.50. Okay, so if we draw a line from this candle, what do you notice? Is there ever a body closed beneath this fair value gap? No, there's not. So because of that, it's not bearish yet, and you can see we keep having more equal highs up here. Just I can't say, oh, we're gonna dump here because I don't think that yet. But until the chart offers me a model to get in short, which would be where dump under the fair value gap. Until the chart offers me a model to get in, I'm just not touching anything, and you can see the body here. We never actually closed under this fair value gap, which is important to know. Okay, so. Yeah, other than that, I'm probably going to get off here. I'm going to be honest. I got to go shower and go to class and stuff. But if anyone has any questions, just feel free to join my Discord. The link's in the bio. I live trade every day for my Patreon, which is $15 a month, which I'm opening back up the 1st and 2nd of April. And I think there are some, again, I'm running 50% off lifetime right now. It's if you're interested, it doesn't matter. I don't really care. But anyways, if you do have any questions, I always pop in the free chat and Discord a lot. A lot of people talk in it. There's a lot of good traders there. Yeah, and extend the BPR, I said yes. This is an old BPR that I think this could be the last line of defense. I'm not going to lie. But again, if you were long, my target would be right here. All right, so if anyone has any more questions, just don't forget to ask me in free trading chat. I'm going to see if we hit this target here. And then maybe I'll get off. Yep, there it is. Okay, so there's the long target. You would have gotten stopped to break even here. Okay, DXY is pumping off this. Again, that's why I take more off of my position than normal if NQ hits sell side and ES doesn't. Did ES ever hit sell side? No, but it also hit this major low, okay, which is a good partial spot, which I said. Okay, and NQ, okay, NQ hit this major low, so we hit my target from this morning, Okay, am I fine with that? Yes, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so again, this was my buys this morning. Again, internal partials. You probably would, everyone else probably just gotten stop runners by this point. But yeah, you can't be perfect every day. Even though I was still had the right bias this morning. Wow, what the hell is this? This is crazy. So this is why you got to take partials right here, guys. This is why. This is crazy. Wow. This is very, very bullish. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to peace out. So